Kimraha Huladunia, Feuchamaich, Ye Olde Scot's Celtic podcast. On today's show, we'll introduce you to the future tense of the verb to be in Feuchamaich, Beagan, Gaidhlig. We will talk about William Wallace in our Celtic history segment, and I'll tell you all about Celtic Christmas and some interesting lunar news in everyday Celtic ways. Today we'll hear music from Monran, the group Monran. We'll hear two songs from Christine Primrose, and Steve MacDonald. And as always, it's a wee bit of Irish trivia to test your knowledge to start us off. So, who was the Irish-born soldier and statesman responsible for the defeat of Napoleon at Waterloo? Alright, think about that. Remember, learngaelic.net. It's a great source for all your Gaelic learning. Take advantage of it. I know I will. And check out the Duolingo.com. It's a new beta thing they're testing out online. I've been playing around with it. It's kind of fun. They kind of make it like a little bit of a game where you learn, you win things as you go along. It's kind of fun. I don't know how much it's really teaching me, but we're still in the learning stage. And anyone within the St. Louis area that would like to be a part of a weekly Scottish Gaelic class, first of all, you should be a part of the St. Louis Gaelic Facebook page. There you will find information about what's going on locally. And then be sure to comment, and I will make contact with you and fill you in on all the details. Alright, I know right now there is an effort to put together a class starting at first of the year. So if you go onto that Facebook page, she has like a little form on there she's filling out, people trying to figure out what days of the week would be best and all that. So just do that. Feuchamaich, let's kick this thing off.
Gürtelig marhami smocherien sasik bram Vona noriak mi beyond the night Glauben an Evanerein, nen loch ne Mars, nen Strom. Signale van a tavre, gach larvel min hor. Vaki napitor sacheru mit yevi bahas Kon fere mesken loye vares bun gebracht Han yer shinere gacher khosh mari han bun pas Verschieten henne blian schies Snacht gegrien in Nacht An halle verliert min host Jem na vi allen sus nen jord Ek ne schelse bolle hallir lekja Kun gelassen ja kijk mag los en leef voor mij goede woord Ach get aan door shakroyara amos mohan geneet niklo skevele nanu on larken yel mi bia es kan fake min hat jesen yachi mar hak bishines kan glava kines bilen bula tashfak smayanten is bi patje lefan met via Aike valat hennerun nat lebi khuri vla Kato sa hene khos dageske sunt osla A mission show sta trai shi was nam khlosen for him vash Fine house, le boy, I'm hoping it enough.
Alright, that was An Elavan by Amonrin. And now, Han Tam and Feuchamaich Beagan Gaidhlig. It's time for Let's Try a Little Gaidhlig. Today we will discuss the future tense of the verb to be, and as always I will display on the screen exactly what I am discussing. So Tashik Shin, let's begin. Alright, the future tense of the verb to be. Now the independent form of the future tense of the verb to be is be, or be for more emphatic usage, and the dependent form is be or be for more emphatic usage. As with the present and past tenses, these are used with the dependent participles cho, am, and nak to provide the four forms of the verb. Alright. Be for positive statements, so it's be für, it will be cold. Be to für, you will be cold. And there's an explanation at the bottom of why that's to, not u. Havi for negative statements. Havi für, it will not be cold. Ambi for asking a positive question. Ambi für, will it be cold? And nakbi for a negative question. Nakbi für, will it not be cold? Alright. The patterns you have learned to say yes and no with the other tenses is the exact same here with the future tense. You need to use the positive or negative forms of the verb in the future tense. An example is Ambi u adol yan Gaidhlig. Will you be going to the Gaidhlig? It's either be for yes or ka vi for no. The future tense of the verb to be with a present participle conveys either a continuous future action or a repeated present action. The meaning is understood from the context. So there's an example. Bimiak ishchik, rish, and radio fesker. I will be listening to the radio in the evening. Now the exact same sentence, Bimiak ishchik, rish, and radio fesker, can also mean I usually listen to the radio in the evening. It's confusing, but if you got the context of what you're reading, then you'll understand what you're trying to get across. Bimiak iri ak shak uren. I will be getting up at 7 o'clock. Bimiak iri ak shak uren. I habitually get up at 7 o'clock. Same thing applies there. like I said, the context of whatever you're discussing will let you know what they're trying to get across. All right, and that's pretty much it for the future tense of the verb to be. We'll get you some vocabulary words here, some adjectives. We've got gach, which is each, some nouns, la nasavich, Sabbath, mian, which is middle or mid, mian la, mian midday, mian oiche, midnight, and some pronouns. Usa is the emphatic form of u, for you. Verbs, erik or iri means arise or get up, and esh or eschik means listen, and the re is eshikri, whatever, listen to. All right. Excuse me, I still got a little bit of that cold hanging on. I want you to translate these from the English to the Gaidhlig. Number 1, Bí mé dul Jan Haley, Ambi Usa. Number 2, Kavi and Hu, Afurak Ansantai. Number 3, Nachbi Iet Ashain Ansavala Vi. 4, Ambi Uach Ober Ansavu Kavi. 5, Bishin Adol an Isk Erlalak. 6, Chavi Angila Adol Yan Iklas Lan Savage. All right. Have fun in translating those over. And I hope you enjoyed Feuchamaich Beagan Gaidhlig for today.
Hukunierjem is hukunierjem. Hukujalach is hukugdienjem. Hukun krie hanam chliefjem. Gavore geus nach de gu ma jierjem.
O ella mai nye mo via vege to yali. Anye mo via vege rai nyulamang. Skarret av volk ni mi gebrach. Kemmer hulles du kunjevik magut njai marai njule foil mochare. Chudu ater mi hin samavoch ganuk mi gavagus mi nam fasht. O chanurin gusabavik gialatanyai marbiaudu milenap Beagan. Salutai get vegashianon avayushia sarimachlia hikvela. Vaminaich jotes minat lesri ekbuna kreive fobona chlikan. Chate jod misanau molles gut, schat mi ekelkend vlepam pasht. Huat mi peranur ganhite, gete huat va mocher sajida. Hoort me waaf nach roschen gilas, gurtig o hine ach marmas. Va mi bruter roid karunje, geroshin kol agus sonne Sonntag. Wat de volken het blazen oelen, ach nooit gushk mi sound father faz. O la mine nie mowiawe, to jali. Nie mowiawe, rein la mine, skarete molek ni mi gebrach.
All right. That was Christine Primrose with Oe Lianen, which means "Oh, sweetheart." And she is our focus today in our Celtic music spotlight. Christine Primrose, MBE. Now, I've never seen those initials after anybody's name before, but I'll explain to you what that means here in a minute. She is one of the great Gaelic singers. Christine Primrose is a native speaker of Scottish Gaelic and has been singing traditional Gaelic song all her life. Originally from Carloway, a village on the west side of the Isle of Lewis in the Outer Hebrides, she has traveled the world singing and teaching, blazing a path that many other Gaelic singers have followed. A multiple prize winner at the Mod and the Pan Celtic Festival, and more recently awarded Gaelic Singer of the Year at the Scotch Traditional Music Awards in 2009. She has rightly become an extremely highly regarded and sought-after artist and tutor. Her first album, Acha Mo Gol, was released in 1982, at a time when traditional Gaelic singing was not widely known or even appreciated. And it broke many barriers, helping introduce Gaelic song to a wider non-Gaelic speaking audience both in Scotland and beyond. She continued to contribute to and consolidate the developing understanding and appreciation for Gaelic song and culture with her superb performances, acclaimed albums, and invaluable teaching at Salmarostig, the Gaelic College on the Isle of Skye. Now, a couple years ago, 2017 was a very significant year for her. It saw the release of her groundbreaking album of unaccompanied Gaelic song, Gra is Goni, Gu Ach Arish, Love and Loss, a Lone Voice. Then was quickly followed by Christine's introduction into the Scottish Traditional Music Hall of Fame, which honors those who have influenced and helped to shape Scottish traditional music throughout their lives. Around the same period, Christine was the subject of an hour-long BBC documentary on her life and work, a profile that followed her from her native Lewis to New York as she recorded and released Gra is Gone. In 2018, Christine was awarded the MBE. Now that's the title I was telling you on her name, attached to her name now. Now, which as an American I didn't know until now was an abbreviation for Member of the Order of the British Empire, a highly British honor given to persons by the Queen for special achievements, which was in the Queen's birthday honors list for services to Gaelic music, to culture, and to education in Scotland and internationally. Now, Christine has frequently appeared on television, mainly as a singer, but has also presented a 12-series Gaelic magazine program as well as numerous radio programs. She has toured extensively in North America and Canada, Australia, and Europe, conducting workshops, giving concerts, recitals. She's also took part in the prestigious Smithsonian Folklife Music Festival in Washington in the United States as part of Scotland at the Smithsonian. Along with Alison Kinnard, now based on the Isle of Skye, Christine teaches Gaelic song at Salmarostig, the Gaelic College, and continues to record and tour. Well, she has a vast array of music out there, so get you some. You will like it, but you'll hear it here as well. So, all right, next we're going to delve right into that history, that rich history that is our Celtic past. In our Celtic history break, today we're going to talk about William Wallace. All right. Now, Wallace, he led the Scottish Rebellion against Edward I, and we all know, we all seen the movie Braveheart, and he inflicted a famous defeat on the English army at Stirling Bridge, which wasn't in the movie, and for those of us that know better, kind of frustrated us, but that's beside the point. He is remembered as a patriot and a national hero. If you go over there today, they've got the Wallace Spire there in Stirling, and they've got statues of him pretty much everywhere. Now, William Wallace was born in the 1270s in Elderslie in Renfrewshire into a gentry family. Very little is known about his early years, and there are significant periods of his life for which there is just no reliable sources. The following is all information from the records of the Scottish and English governments. Okay. In 1296, Edward I of England had taken advantage of a succession crisis in Scotland and imposed himself as ruler with an English administration within months. Scottish unrest was pretty much widespread. In May of 1297, Wallace is noted as attacking the town of Lanark, killing the English sheriff, and unrest quickly became full-blown rebellion. Men flocked to join Wallace, and he began to drive the English out of Fife and Perthshire. In September 1297, Wallace defeated a much larger English force at the Battle of Stirling Bridge. Now this and subsequent military successes severely weakened the English hold on Scotland. Wallace then launched raids into England, which pretty much shocked England. In the late 1297 or early 1298, he was knighted and appointed Guardian of the Kingdom in the name of John Balliol, the deposed King of Scotland. The shock of the defeat at Stirling rallied the English around Edward, who marched north with an army. Wallace's strategy was to avoid confrontation and gradually withdraw. He destroyed the countryside as he went, forcing Edward to march deeper and deeper into Scotland. Now, in July 1298, the Scottish and English armies met near Falkirk, and the Scots were defeated. Now, Wallace escaped, and little is known of his movements, but at some stage he resigned the guardianship and was succeeded by Robert Bruce and John Comyn. Wallace then went abroad, notably to France. This you will not see in the movie. He went there to seek support for the Scottish cause. He returned to Scotland in 1303, and in his absence, Robert de Bruce had accepted a truce with Edward I, and in 1304, John Comyn came to terms with the English as well. Wallace was excluded from these terms, and the English king offered a large sum of money on Wallace's head to anyone who killed or captured him. Wallace was seized in or near Glasgow in August of 1305 and transported to London. He was charged and tried with treason, which of course he denied, saying that he had never sworn allegiance to the English king. His execution was held on the 23rd of August, where he was hung, drawn and quartered. His head was placed on London Bridge and his limbs displayed in Newcastle, Berwick, Stirling, and Perth. Those are the few facts that we have, but one question remains unanswered. And that's the real question is, why did Wallace start his rebellion? What drove him to risk his life and property to take on the greatest military in the world at that time? What is known of Wallace came from a traveling bard named Blind Harry in his poem, Wallace, from 1478. The poem depicts him as being in love with a woman called Marion Bradfoot, and after she was murdered in Lanark for not submitting to an English soldier's lurid advances, William killed the English sheriff of Lanark, Sir William Heselrigg, in retaliation. Even though this was a recorded event, there is no evidence of Marion's existence. She isn't mentioned at all, which is not that unusual for the times, but record keeping was sketchy at at best, usually left to priests and monks. The English government cared little if the peasants of rural Scotland were recorded or not. Now, the truth is, Wallace was already a staunch opponent of English occupation before the Lanark incident. When the rest of the nobility submitted to Edward I's claim of lordship over Scotland in 1291 and again in 1296, William refused. So something like the murder of a loved one could be all that was needed to set off William Wallace. Not caring whether he lived or died, now that Marion Bradford was dead, is said to be the reason he began his rebellion, and his carelessness with his life was the reason he was so successful. I prefer to think that he fought the English to avenge a lost love. I mean, it's romantic, and I am a bit of a romantic. So then when he was successful, he just went with it. He just went with the punches. If things were going good, he just kept on going. He took the role of savior of Scotland because so few would. He came from a place where so many had so little, sometimes even something to live for. So if he could give them a reason to retain or regain some sense of pride or hope, then his sacrifice would be worth it. But not for Scotland, for the average person who just wanted a better life. That's what I like to think was William Wallace was all about. All right, that's it for our Celtic History break today.
Nach mich Traum gleich hier wagnam jaun, ami blisch ami ranoch bronoch, ora mahad mochloin ben mogeles movnai, aun sachlag erenai von evogen. Ga ik dan je gebracht met moedats mograi, ha moglaun erenai kalkun wat, schaniel mating naich nach bimigakai, son hil mi joden gunade. Han skieva blaere karaksne klor, wat of was gein mariere ganheil, oran nach iva blor, legelages grag, krechigsne ballen skele. Chadjich minach tovajas mochain gebrach, wat toch launer toch urem nadeking, snurren mi tohul, guroboyok tognush, maren ros van een drukaun se hedging. Ami kainyo chaloi kelum hares otus, anuguli gunisher tohulu, skuzenun mi mohul, an zachadel nach dusk, gad yon tran bi mi stort glut.
All right, that was Christine Primrose with God Indrin, Missing You. Now it's time for Everyday Celtic Ways, a look into how our Celtic heritage is still very much a part of our everyday lives. Today we're going to tell you about Celtic Christmas. Now, the roots of Christmas traditions that we have today, that we recognize today, can be traced back to pre-Christian celebrations of the winter solstice. The solstice is a twice yearly event when the sun appears to be at its highest or lowest point above the horizon. In the northern hemisphere, the winter solstice usually occurs annually between December 20th and December 23rd. The winter solstice was seen by the ancient Celts as one of the most significant times of the year. The Neolithic monuments of Newgrange in Ireland, Maes Howe in Orkney, Scotland, and Burn Kelly Dew in Yins, Mon, Wales, are examples of burial chambers scattered throughout the Celtic nations, constructed to capture the full impact of the sun's rays during the solstices. So that just shows you how important it was to them. Now, the Druids, the priestly class in ancient Celtic society, they celebrated the festival of Alban Arthurn, also known as Yule, at the time of the winter solstice. It was on this day that they ceremonially gathered mistletoe from oak trees, a practice described in the writings of Roman historian Pliny the Elder, or Gaius Plinius. The name Christmas is from the Mass of Christ, Christ Mass. The actual date of the birth of Christ is 1 AD to December 1000 AD of the Julian calendar, was aided by the new religion adapting to ceremonies and traditions of the existing religions. At times, the early Christians also adopted existing deities to ease the transition from old beliefs to new ones, as is thought to be the case with Bridget, the Celtic fertility goddess who became known to Christians as Saint Bridget. So in celebrating Christmas, the traditional trappings that go with this festive season have roots that go far back into Celtic history. The mistletoe, gathered by the Druids for its magical and health-giving properties, the Yule log burnt by the Celts to counter the darkness of midwinter when they thought the sun stood still for 12 days, and to bring good luck, the holly and the ivy, the evergreens that Celts saw as important to keep evil spirits at bay, the tree decorated with symbols of solar objects and gifts to Celtic gods and goddesses. Wow. Now, it's kind of cool how Christmas has all that in common with the Celts of the past. Now, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone, and any of you in the Celtic nations. And I've gathered up how to say it in all 6 of the Celtic languages. The first one's going to be Manx Gaelic, which is Nulloch Glenol. And then Scottish is Nulloch Creole. Irish, Nulloch Hunagwit. Breton is Gaidhlig Nuan. Wow. Welsh is Nadolig Lowen. And Cornish is Adelic Lowen. Those are all the same. You can see a similarity between the first 3 I told you, the Manx, the Scottish, and Irish, or the Gaidhlig division of Gaelic languages. And then the Brythonic is the Breton, the Welsh, and the Cornish. They're all similar. That's kind of cool. All right. Now, with all this talk of the winter solstice, I found something cool in the news the other day. Our next full moon occurs this month. It's ominously called the cold moon. This means December's full moon. It will be at its peak on 12/12 at exactly 12:12 a.m. 12 has a very big significance when it comes to our relative understanding of space and time. There are 12 months in a year, and our days are split into 2 groups of 12 hours. Now, you can't tell me that our Celtic ancestors wouldn't have been freaking out over such a celestial event. So it's up to us, the modern Celts, to offer observance and retrospect on such a momentous occasion. So get ready to dance naked, folks. All right. Merry Christmas. Well, that's it for today's show. I hope you liked it. I'm trying to keep it interesting, informative, and fun. For me, anytime you can infuse something Celtic into your day, that's a good day. Now, I would like to thank you all for the support and kind words, the comments, and the views, especially, and the new subscribers. Things are going real good. I've gotten recently, so I really appreciate that. However, I think I need to say that I have in my past podcasts that I'm just a beginner as well. An advanced beginner, but still just a beginner. And I am not, or do I represent myself as an authority on the Gaelic language. Only someone who loves learning it and who wants to help others begin in their journey of learning Gaelic. What I teach comes right from the textbooks of well-respected Gaelic teachers. And I am a student just trying to make something interesting, informative, and fun, which can help other beginners learn and have fun as well. All right. Now, before I let you go, the trivia question and answer. The Duke of Wellington, Lord Arthur Wellesley, defeated Napoleon at Waterloo. All right. Remember to check out Duolingo.com, LearnGaelic.net, ACJAmerica.org. Check out my YouTube channel, Ye Olde Scot, and Martian Leavendrosda. Bye for now. We'll let you go with this song, Scotland the Brave, by Steve MacDonald, in honor of William Wallace.